looks upward at that angle, we're sampling a little bit higher into the atmosphere. But the good news is, as far as we know right now, John, take a latest check on the National Weather Service chat line and see if we have any additional reports. I don't think we have any reports aside from the radar indicated. So that's important to note, too. All of you in this area that we've mentioned the streets, 55th Street Southeast, 60th Street Southeast, County Highway 7, south of Iota. We've had quarter-size hail. That's relatively large hail. That's damaging hail in the community of Iota, and the rotation showing up down to the south. It seems relatively clear that the rotation has weakened since the last scan, which is pretty typical with these storms that aren't the classic, really big supercells. We don't see that rotation lasting for 60 minutes or for an hour and a half. It tends to be a little bit less. But either way, I can assure you I can talk through the whole thing. 940 right now, southeast of Rochester. We don't have as high returns on the velocity scope that we did before, but then again, search up a little bit there closer to Iota. You simply want to be taking shelter there, not necessarily because of the tornado threat right now in Iota, but because you've got that large hail coming down, certainly away from windows, but definitely be in your safe place. You want to be in the basement, preferably in Iota, due to the fact that the rotation being picked up on radar is strong enough, scientifically proven, to show that there could very well be a tornado on the ground. And this time of the night, it's really hard to verify that with spotters because it's really hard to see. Now, we've got a tremendous group of spotters all around Olmsted County, and they're out right now trying to get as much information as they can, but we can't send them right into these kind of cells. So we're getting as much info as we can from the National Weather Service. Any further updates on the storms that we have across the area? Any further additional reports that we have, Jonathan? All right, not that we're seeing right now. Let's zoom out. Let's take a bigger look right now. Again, keeping in mind that we have a tornado warning here in Olmsted County until 10:15 in Iota, areas south of Iota to I-90. This is where you want to be taking shelter. The community of Rochester. So far, we have rain coming down. It is loud. Seems obnoxious all around you, but it's not too bad in the city right now. It is Iota to St. Charles, Dover, where we're concerned, up to around Quincy Township, Viola, as the storm makes its way toward the east. This one right now is the Beast on radar. This is the larger storm, and it's making its way to the east. And again, with this additional scan that just came in on the radar, it is once again looking a little bit weaker. So let's get the velocity scope on there again. We're showing some signs of the winds shifting up a little bit to the northeast of Iota. That isn't necessarily looking tornadic right now, but it's this area a little bit farther down to the south. So still some signs on the radar picture that we could have some spin-ups occurring on this particular storm. Very large, a lot of rain. There is going to be flooding. There will be trees knocked down. There will be power outages, and there will be some minor structural damage. Certainly not everyone. Bring that back up again, by the way, Jonathan. Look at the rainfall rates that we have in here. Certainly contaminated a little bit by hail. But now 1 inch per hour rain is an impressive rain. That's heavy. We're looking at rainfall rates of nearly 9.5 inches per hour. This is flood-causing rain. Iota, this is where we have the headwaters to a lot of streams, and this is going to be feeding into the Whitewater. So the south branch of the Whitewater gets its start right around Iota, at least one of the feeders to it. And as that continues to get rained upon very heavily, this is going to be filling up those small streams and eventually the larger bodies of water. So heads up to all of you living in the low-lying areas, too, is that we most certainly are going to have some flash flooding issues in urban flooding as this happens very quickly with the rain coming down. Most likely, Iota is kind of a mess right now from the very heavy rain that's been coming down for quite some time. We have hail potential north of Iota, getting up to about County Road 9 down to Iota. This is where we're going to have some potentially quarter-size to golf ball-size hail within some of the larger cores. Here it is, 10th Street Southeast, as we look north of Iota within the core of the storm. Let's mark a couple more. County Highway 7. And as you go a little bit farther up, that's about where we get into Highway 9. Basically, that's the road from about the Federal Medical Center in Rochester straight out east toward Whitewater State Park. 107. This is also where we have some of the larger hail core, potential for that there. Silver Creek Road